some people historically have thought that you need to remove the tarsal gland from the deer, from a big buck, so that you don't contaminate the meat, because they think it will taint the meat. Well, that deer has been walking around its whole life, not contaminating its meat with its tarsal gland for its whole life. So the only way to contaminate the meat with the tarsal gland is you as the hunter, when you're skinning it, getting that musty stuff on your hands and then touching the meat, or letting that tarsal gland touch the meat. That's the only way that that tarsal gland is going to contaminate the meat. Now, to answer your question about removing the tarsal gland to use as a hunting aid, you can do that whenever is most appropriate for you as the hunter. When you do so, we, as a processor, we just want to make sure that as little of the carcass is exposed to contamination as possible. So I would rather see you get that animal back to your vehicle or back to your home and remove that tarsal gland there in a more controlled environment, rather than cutting it off out in the woods and then dragging that carcass with that exposed part of the carcass, you remove the skin from, dragging that through the dirt and the leaves and the mud, and having that dirty carcass area come to the processor. We want to make sure we try to keep that as clean as possible. That is the carcass. The other thing that want to make sure that you do is don't cut any of the tendons in the back leg when you're removing that tarsal gland. That tarsal gland is only on the skin. And for most processors, and even for you at your home, if you're going to hang that carcass to skin it, to cut it up, you need to have those back tendons intact, because the most common way that you would hang a deer carcass is from that Achilles tendon that's on the back leg of the animal. So, try to keep it clean, and also, try to minimize how deep that you cut in order to remove that tarsal gland.